Holy crap, it has been so dry. There were no big news that happened in the last few weeks, other than the leakage of patch 9.20 Supertest server patch notes. And that was it. The biggest news for last week was the preview of the Beijing Opera 113. And that's only a Chinese server exclusive vehicle. That was it. It has been so dry, like the Sahara, so I crawled into a hole, grinded the T3485M Marathon, and play a few other smaller games, but yeah, it was pretty slow, really slow. So welcome back folks, to FlashPoint Weekend Update. But I collected a few smaller tidbits of info from outside of the game, towards the game, so let's take a look. But regarding to 9.20 Chinese tank destroyers, it's a very funny scenario because I already talked about this paragraph on the preview page, so we know this is something you've been asking for and we're excited to make them available to all the players. Well, on the VK page for World of Tanks for the Russian server, it's like their Facebook page, they just posted a survey yesterday morning regarding to the feedback from the community if they want to see the Chinese TDs. So this coincides with the release of the preview on the main website. So unless you can judge the feedback from the community, make a decision and post your decision afterwards in like 10 minutes about these tank destroyers, I highly doubt you took their feedback into account. So they just posted this survey like yesterday morning. Also, we rolled out the Chinese tank destroyers on the Chinese server a few months ago. Bullshit. They just got it in patch 9.19.1 that was released on July 18th for the Chinese server. So they bundle up the WZ-111-5A and the Chinese tank destroyers in one patch for 9.19.1, but that was 9 days ago or 10 days ago. Not a few months. It's not even a few weeks. It was a few days. So a bunch of bullshit. It's all very funny to me because I stopped caring. I really stopped caring anymore. And I don't pay any dime, any money for the game. I just free to play. So they can do whatever the hell they want, but it does seem like the developers have a hidden agenda behind the scenes of pushing out these Chinese tank destroyers to all the other servers, regardless of the feedbacks from the community, if they wanted it or not. So it's just very funny to me. I stopped caring. So luckily they coincide with the feedback from the community because the community actually wants the Chinese tank destroyers. What if they don't want it, the Chinese fake TDs? You have a debacle, right? So does seem fishy with the hidden agenda. Very fishy to me, but I'm just an observer from the sidelines, so just funny. Here is the Chinese server exclusive Beijing Opera 113. So it has a special skin corresponding to the mask design used in the opera. So very nice looking skin. A lot better than stuff like the Scorpion G, Waffentrager. Ugh. Lobster on the gun shield. Oh god. So yeah, it's a nice design. And it does have the clutter at the back for the musical instruments used in the opera. So cultural significance, I like it. It's like the accordion for the Defender, or like the bike for the VK168, but they never pushed out that vehicle. So Hans, use the bicycle to get more fuel. This tank is so slow. I should do a leak video about that vehicle, but I've been lazy. So cultural significance, I like it, but here are better close-ups of the instruments. So very nice design. I like it, all the textures and models. So time and effort, but the tank is the same. So why not just change the tank a little bit? A so does have the mask on the side of the turret, and the good old Dishka, the darling, 12.7mm large ass machine gun, Russian designed anti-aircraft machine gun, anti-personnel too. Oh well, but the crew is also customized like the Valkyria Chronicles anime crew, so that's nice. But you can also retrain them because it's a special vehicle, so it's like a premium tank, so you can retrain these crew for the 113 and use them interchangeably between the two vehicles. So pretty awesome. But the actual cost of this vehicle is 5,000 yuan. That's about $742 or about 631 euro. That is the same cost about as a washer and dryer combo for your house. So would you rather wash your clothes, or would you rather have a virtual tank at tier 10? A bunch of datas, a bunch of zeros and ones. It's a washer and dryer. That's like one of life essentials for your house or a virtual tank. A GTX 1080 is like 500 bucks, and that's one of the best current graphics card. This cost 50% more. What? So yeah, it's a weird dog and pony show on the Chinese server, so I don't even know, but holy crap, that cost is steep, like really steep. Jesus. So for Gamescom that will happen next month, this is going to be one of the biggest leak info event for World of Tanks, because last year we got the leak info about the Swedish vehicles. So for this year, I'm presuming the Polish tanks, because we got the Poodle currently in the game files. So I'm expecting the Polish medium tanks, but we'll have to see. They will release like a whole tech tree, and if surprisingly 2 tech trees similar to the Swedish tanks, but who knows. So exciting times usually for the fall season of each year. But they are going to sell the Tiger 217, the Autocarius Tiger 1 tank with special customizable camouflage thingamajig. So it already paints over the dark yellow paint. What? That doesn't make sense, but you can overlap with the desert paint or the forest paint, but the desert paint is already yellow. It paints over the yellow background, the Duncan Gilb. So yeah. Pronunciation Nazis. Sam, you're pronouncing it wrong. God, you scrub. You pleb. I know, I'm sorry. I don't pronounce German. Never learned it. Learned Latin in high school. It's just a super waste of time. Facts about me. Wonderful. So yeah. It's the same stats as the Tiger 131 or the Japanese Tiger 1, the heavy tank number 6. So I'm looking forward to the Poodle as well as the, well, actually about the Polish tanks. Not really about the Poodle, other than the historical info, because it's the same as the VK3002M, the Baby Panther. So that's Gamescom. Alright, so for North American servers, you could get a free M22 Locust at tier 3. That's nice, because this is a corresponding web page to tank rewards. So it's called WoTAcademy.com. But once you finish the training section of bootcamp, watching all the videos, you will get a Locust for free, a tier 3 premium American light tank. So I did this bootcamp thing on Wednesday, and this afternoon I got the 900 gold compensation as well as the free garage slot. But yeah, that's pretty nice. I never knew about this. So just visit the website it looks something like this. Go to the boot camp, which is right here, and just watch all the videos in the list. So basically you just click this, right? If you don't want to watch the video, make sure it runs, unless I have stupid internet, but press the M button to mute. You cannot skip through it. You cannot press the XL button and skip through it, but press the M button and let it run. It usually takes about 30 seconds or a minute, but it's not that long. So watch all the videos, flip it to the back, watch all the videos, and then you'll get a M22 Locust in your garage. So, hey, not bad. Free gold, so, and a garage slot. But it's only for North America server, so sorry if you're on the EU or the Russian server. Apologies. But there are discoveries of the Sahm mod I've been missing for like 2 years now. So Zorgane on the EU forums has remodified or fixed Gnomefather's historical gun sound. So I'll post the download link in the description below, but yeah, it's the original gun sounds I remember, and I love these gun sounds. So yeah, it's like the skin mods, but for guns. So here is a quick clip of all the examples, some of the examples, but enjoy. So did you like that? Pretty sweet, right? So yeah, the old gun sounds. Basically just drag and drop the files into ResMod folder and change the audio, the settings in effect. So this will change the audio of the volume stuff. Doesn't want to blow out your eardrums, but yeah, the tanks should sound a little bit different, right? So pretty sweet. Also, new skin mods, so pause the video to look through them. But do enjoy a few good looking skin. The 110 from Milkyman. Yeah, this was originally available, but after patch 9.15 or 9.16, the script needs update. So went missing for a few patch, but hey, it's back now. So love it. The Leopard 1A1, 1A1, but this is a War Thunder import, so it looks pretty sweet. Yep. Like it, but never push past the VK3001D for me, so never have one. Oh well. Type 5 Heavy from Professors, so very nice matlet cover, but hey, HD models are always good. Here is the VK4503H from Professors. So the Tiger 2, actually, this was the original Tiger 2. The current Tiger 2 is actually the Tiger 3, but they scrapped this vehicle in favor of the Tiger 3. They renamed it into the Tiger 2. So, historical detail. Small stuff. Here is the Hombres TVP T5051. So, every tank needs a gun sleeve. That's the meme. But it does look pretty nice. I like it. And here is the Object 260. So, very well done. Bunch of chains and bling. If these were gold, that would be funny, but hey, it's very nice fuel tanks, good stuff at the back. So that's pretty much it for this week, guys. Pretty slow week, other than the patch notes, which I did an hour and 10 minutes video on. Insane. So would OP premium tanks be considered fair if you combine them with gold? So for this community question, I was thinking about the FE4202 and the T34-3. they will receive a very significant armor buff as well as speed buff for the FV4202, and the T-34-3 would get a better aim time to help with the gun. So it's on par with some of the heavy tanks as well, and the armor would be considered pretty OP. But you can buy these tanks with gold, so you can use your tournament gold or your event gold that you got from tank rewards or any other missions and buy these vehicles. So these tanks are not out of the reach of time periods, so unlimited buying potential or buying time frame, and you can get them anytime, as well as unlimited to all the players. So is that considered fair? So everybody could get it if you work for it. So it's not like the limited edition Object 252U or the Chrysler K. So would you consider these premium tanks to be fair? Would you consider the Chrysler K to be fair if you can buy them with gold all year round? So that's my question, but I don't know. But the turret buff on the FV4202 and the T-34-3 is pretty insane. Just basically for patch 9.20, all vehicles could go haul down. And that's the purpose. Every tank will have like 250mm effective armor base for the turret. Because why not? Best balancing ever. But here are some community questions from 2 weeks ago. So what happened to the AMX 65T? I like that vehicle. It was going to be a normal tier 8 French heavy tank, but with 120mm. That was great. It's like the Liberté AMX M4 model 1949, but they scrapped it. It's been like a year plus now, like a year and 3 months or so, but I thought about the second line of French heavies coming with the AMX M4 Liberté, but never happened. What about the Object 268 version number 5? Never happened. Mostly. It has crappy DPM. Really crappy DPM. So that's one of the biggest drawback. But lastly, for the Object 216, you're talking about the Object 244. That's the IS-1 prototype at tier 6 with the 85mm, I believe. So that vehicle was crap. I thought they were going to give out this vehicle last year during the anniversary, the 5-year anniversary. But if you already played like 5 years, you'll get this vehicle. Never happened, but it's mediocre, so we don't know. There are a bunch of vehicles hiding in the the res folder for a long time and collecting dust. So like the KV4 KTTS, nobody knows. So would you consider, or what would you consider going to be introduced in the Polish tech tree? Medium tanks, mostly. Yeah, medium tanks. The Polish were never designing large heavy tanks or tank destroyers. Mostly mediums. So it's a world of medium tanks. Unless they've artificially buffed it to heavies, I doubt it. It's not going to be. So mediums. And there were no artillery introduced for like 4 years now. So it's not going to be artillery. The last artillery was the British artillery, and that was about 4 years ago. Or 3.5. Still a long time ago. So you don't usually see artillery lines. Yeah, you don't see artillery. So contrary to popular disdain of artillery, there were no new artillery for 3.5 years. That's a long time. Do you think Wargaming will implement Tier 11, Tier 12, and Tier 13 like modern day tanks with the April Fool's joke? I mean, if they see the player base slipping, I want to say they might, but how are you going to balance it? Like, are you going to place them against Tier 9s? I mean, you will use like M46 patent T-54s against these vehicles, but I expecting like vehicles like... There should be a separation of a tier between actual modern day tanks against Cold War era tanks. So, for example, the T-54 should never face a M1A1 Abrams, because that's just not fair. No way in hell could you penetrate frontally unless you shoot at the back. So I'm thinking there should be like the M1 prototype as well as the main battle tank 70, like a separation. So it's not exactly jumping towards the Challenger 1s, Challenger 2s. So I'm thinking there should be like prototypes, but if you're going to do that, there's going to be a lot of work, and balancing is a nightmare. It's hell. So I already talked about this during the beta launch of Armor Warfare, that balancing main battle tanks with composite armor and reactive armor is a nightmare, because it's all RNG. In reality, you do not know where the shell will bounce or ricochet off of and into stuff, and it's very difficult to model composite armor because different layers and different calculation per layer. You might have a ricocheting shell in the composite armor while it's traveling through the armor. So I don't know how they're going to balance it. I don't know how they're going to balance tier 9 or tier 10 against like modern day tanks, because if you have a mouse, if you have a Abrams tank or a Challenger 1, you will spot them across the map. They're super slow. You have like armor piercing, thin stabilized, discarding Sabo with uranium, depleted uranium, and that has like what, 800 millimeters of penetration, so just melt whatever. And you have a super high penetration, high explosive anti-tank rounds, shaped charges, and just go to town. So it's very hard to balance, very hard. You're using homogeneous rolled steel armor against composite armor or reactive armor. Just, it's like caveman trying to take down a modern day soldier. You're not going to. So it's going to be very difficult, but it does add a little bit extra. So if you have a different matchmaking, but that will be a separation. So it's a new can of worms. It's nice to fantasize about, but I doubt it. I really doubt it. So they'll probably add more tech trees and like World War II tanks or reskins mostly. And what about the Waffentrigger off E100? So I already asked this question for you guys, but I think if they're going to bring back the Waffle Barn to the other servers, the North American server, the EU, and the Russian servers, a lot of players would be super pissed off. Because A, everybody hates the Grill 15 because you replace one of the most trollish auto-loading gun for the lack of camo and armor. So they don't want to play with the Grill 15. Wasted, alright? Secondly, you nerfed the Grill 15. That sucks. And lastly, if you're going to bring back the Waffentrigger off U100, it better be free for all the players who originally have it before the switch to the Grill 15. Otherwise, you will piss off a lot of players. So I already got pissed off that the Lorraine 40T wasn't free if you already have it before the switch to the Bat Chat 25T AP. But I mean, some players don't like the Lorraine 40T. There are a lot of players who like the Waffentrigger off E100. It was one of the most iconic vehicles of World of Tanks before it got like replaced. So yeah, people will get pissed off, really pissed off. So there you go, folks. Flashpoint for the week of July 28th, 2017. So it's been really dry, like no news whatsoever, none. So I thought about adding additional contents to the channel. So I thought about adding a like an hour or 2 hours long gameplay video of a random game that you guys propose from the daily or weekly Flashpoint videos. But I was playing Tokyo Warfare. I bought a copy from Steam and it's anime, but It's really arcadey, even more arcadey than World of Tanks. So it's not that long too, so kind of unfortunate, but I was thinking about doing a gameplay playthrough of Salt and Sanctuary or Resident Evil 4, RE4. So yeah, let me know, but it's really dry. So to prevent the drought, I was thinking about like an hour on the weekends for one of these playthroughs. So it will not spam your subscription box. So if you subscribe to my channel for the World of Tanks contents, I will not try to bombard you with various playthroughs of other games daily. So I'll try to do this on the weekends for like a 1 hour long video or 2 hour long video. So let me know in the comments below. But there you go, folks. So thank you guys for watching this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you guys next week. Peace.